So good afternoon again. So I'm going to start by a quick introduction. How did it start and how did it last 15 years, almost plus or minus? So in 2005, I graduated as a dental surgeon and started working in the dentistry, 4 specialties. I've traveled 23 countries giving lectures around the world, but it was always missing something. It was never enough. I loved traveling, I loved people, and sitting in that 4 walls was not enough. So in my dental clinic, which was very fun, all full of colors, I had 4 screens. 4 screens, because I wanted patients to be happy, not feeling that dentist vibe. So the first one had CNN, the second one had National Geography, the third one had Discovery Channel, and the fourth one had a local channel. And I used to look at all these channels, CNN with Anthony Bourdain back then, National Geography with the travelers of the world, Discovery Channel with the food shows and cooking show, and said, why not in Arabic? Come on, why not in our language? And I started lobbying all across our televisions in Lebanon to have, back then, the first Arabic-speaking food show in the region. And nobody wanted that. Why would people watch someone eat? Why? How do we get advertising out of that? 2012, I started a food blog, and that food blog was about reimagining or reshaping the industry of food, where, you know, until now, everything you see, all the top 10 lists are paid for. So I wanted to have that food blog where truth is said. It's good or it's not good, and taking a picture of every single review I've been to. So fast forward to the show started 2013. Instagram was starting in 2012, the year I started my food show, and 40,000 pictures later on Instagram. It's still ongoing with really decent content. So all of these were food show, Lebanon, and then Iraq, and then YouTube with the 8,000 plus videos until today. Instagram, TikTok, not a big fan, Facebook, and most importantly, focusing on long format. So I never followed what I would say the trends would want you to do. So why I'm saying that? Because you would hear trends that say, you need to do short content, you need to do a voiceover, TikTok is the trend, forget Instagram, you need to jump to have more followers, do a song to have more followers. But at the end, why would I follow trends if I'm not convinced to do so? So 2012 all the way until today, my ideas were simple and still the same. The world has changed, but I didn't. I wanted to spread happiness, share smiles, be honest, be truthful, create food culture, connect people, connect Lebanese culture and Arab culture all across the globe. And it went on and on and on, from the first street food market to traveling around the world, meeting Lebanese across the globe and Arabs, and so on and so forth. I'm going to skip that part. What do I do? Lots of videos would say it on Instagram, on YouTube. But building up to why do it and how can you live out of it and how can you ride the wave. This is very important. So back then in 2012, it was probably easier to put a video on YouTube and get 100,000 views. You put a video today, you get 5 views. So the algorithm has changed. The algorithm has evolved. Even on Instagram, you put a video and the chances of having 1 million views are close to 0. But if one video hits, you're the lucky man and good or woman, and good luck for you. So how can you shine? How can you be different? How can you be the next influencer or the next person? Let's hold that thought and think the world in 2025. You hear people saying, I don't like pictures. You need to live in another era. I don't like my phone. You definitely need to live in another era. I don't like to be on social media. Man, we're not in the 80s anymore. So you need to understand, where do we live? If you do not understand where you are today, the world is going to go faster than you and you're going to be obsolete. If you think of it, we're 8 billion. Who are the ones known? The 1%. Can you be one of the 1%? Yes, you can, if you decide to. So you need to take a step back on what you do, who you are, how people see you, how do you portray yourself, how are you shown or seen on social media, and say, it is time for me to create my aura and create my presence. So is it by taking nice pictures? Is it by giving every picture or every photo enough time to be posted well? Is it by saying something fun, interesting, and intelligent on social media? Is it by sharing what's happening around me? So it's very important today at your age to start building up to who you want to be. I've met hotel managers that have been managing hotels for the last 23 years, true stories. And when you go ask them, Instagram account says, no, I don't need to. I am in the hotel business. Fine, and if by any chance you leave that business, who would know about you? No one. How can you get another job? LinkedIn is not enough. So, are you building up to be a chef? Are you building up to be in the tourism sector? Are you building up to be a manager? Are you building up to do whatever you want to do? Start today by building up a certain presence. Who you are, what you do, how does my Instagram or my presence online look like? And, which is very dangerous, that was not in our age when we used to be 12 or 13 or 14, what goes online stays online for life. So if you do a mistake today, it's going to follow you up until you're 60 or 70. And one day, probably you're going to be the CEO of the biggest company ever and probably a minister or a president or whatever you want in your country. And someone is going to go, when he was 12? So it's very important to understand what you want and who you are. So back then to my story and what makes me probably different in a way or another, I started spreading what I do or creating content on social media with a vision, with a very straight vision. What do I want? What do I want people to see me like? So it's never enough for me. So from an idea to the next, an idea to the next, an idea to the next. But everywhere I meet people, and I believe lots of them know me all around the world, they know who I am. They look at me and say, you're the one of good food. You're the one of culture. You're the one of the smile. You're the one of the manouche. You're the one of the Lebanese villages. You're the one of good restaurants. So I created a certain direction that was not adapted along the way. Do I like cars? Yeah, but I cannot put them on my account. Do I like watches? Of course, but I cannot put them on my account. And being the account that posts about everything, everywhere, anywhere, whatever, and whatever money is not a good thing to do. So in what you're going to do, perfect one thing and do it right. I always give that example. If you have a car and you want to take it to a mechanic, to whom would you take it? To someone that arranges all the cars, or to a specialist of one? And definitely to a specialist of one. You need to perfect something, the one thing. In Arabic they say ma'allim, or the master. You need to perfect one thing to do it right. The master of knives, the master of breakfast, the master of manaish, food, etc., etc. So master what you do and do it right, and let your account on social media do it in the perfect way possible. So since 2012, building up to what I want, I started on Instagram, but I always had the vision back then, 2012, I always had the vision of I need to create long-form content. Long-form content for YouTube. And it was never enough to be just like any content. And the trends didn't want it, and the trends today do not want long content. And Instagram today does not want videos more than 3 minutes. And Facebook today does not want videos more than 3 minutes. But I always was stubborn about it. No, I want to create long content form and keep them for history. So 8,000 videos later, being on national television and the longest running show in Lebanon for 14 years already, and having another one in Iraq, it was never lucrative. What the hell? Why the hell am I doing it? If I want to rethink it again, it's time lost from a business perspective. But I'm still very convinced that I had to do it, and I'm still doing it to date. Remembering history, leaving a legacy, keeping things for our kids, my kids first, and the rest. Filming heroes that probably one day are going to die, and many of them did. Leaving traditions and putting them online from arts, crafts, etc., etc., while investing in paying back to society and life on YouTube, because I'm convinced to do so. What I'm trying to say here is, whatever you decide to do today, keep on doing if you're convinced, and the world is going to turn around and you're going to be the hero one day. If you want to follow trends and no, I don't want to do it because my friend is doing it or my other friend is doing it, you're going to go into being obsolete one day because you followed others instead of being the leader and let people follow you. So back then, YouTube and ongoing, focusing on one thing: quality. Quality, quality 3 times. What I mean by that is, take your Instagram account and look at your pictures. Some of them are yellow, some of them are black, some of them have light in front of you, some of them are really blurry. Why? Take enough time to put it right and do it right. And someone somewhere is going to look and say, wow, this is good quality. This is good quality content. So look at the images, look at the videos. Your iPhone today, I'm an iPhone fan. I'm seeing lots of iPhones around. Okay. So your iPhone today is capable of giving you a 4K quality, high resolution, 60 frames per second, HDR, all of these terms, so it's for you to use them. And you look at some people just putting anything anywhere. Take time to produce good content, take time to put that content online, use good music if you're allowed to, or buy some music. Look at all these things that are from copyright to good quality to a good software. When we started back 2012, software was like $1,000. Music was $1,000. Having an iPhone was impossible. You need to buy a camera, which was $5,000. Fast forward to it, you can buy music for $30 a month. You can use CapCut for $30 a year. You can have an iPhone for $1,000 every 3 years. And all of these for you to have everything to create content. And whenever you want to create content, something people forget about is good quality sound. This is why I have a hidden mic in here, for me to have a very good sound, since my camera is recording at the end of the room. And all of these are really cheap and super good quality if we look at 15 years of evolution when we started. So in a nutshell, who you are, what do you want, how important is it to have a degree if you do not know how to use it, and how do not know how to talk about it and people connecting with you and your degree. What do you like in life? And most importantly, the first question, which I repeat again and again, remember that we live in 2025. If you're not the best, someone else will. If you're not one of the top 100, 1%, someone else will. So every day wake up and say, can I be the best? Yes, you can. It needs hard work, and hard work is something you can get just by focusing on what you do. So taking from the beginning of this discussion and building up to something else, I'm ready for all your questions, anything you have, and any question you might think of. So we take it to the next part. So, who has a question? Yes? I'm intolerant and allergic to both. So when I started and I needed a good name, so would I call it Anthony's blog or Anthony's whatever? So I said, you know what? All my friends call me the no garlic, no onions guy when they invite me to dinner. They stopped inviting me, but back then. So I called it the no garlic, no onions, and it went well, and people loved it.
Is it FODMAP related or just garlic and onions because of taste and flavor, or is it like FODMAP, like
FODMAP all the way.
related?
FODMAP all the way. It's very bad for my body. It removes all my smiles. It makes me sleep. And I strongly believe that in our cultures, Arabic culture mainly, we overdo it on garlic and onions when it's not as good as our grandparents used to say. Italians use it, but they use it for flavoring. French use it, sometimes they use it for flavoring. What we do is mash it and put it in, and it gives you bloating and bad smell and all of these, and yet we still use it. And whenever you look at someone and say, why the garlic? And the answer is, my grandfather used to say. Okay, fine. Remember, we're in 2025. Your grandfather didn't go to business and didn't go to Central One. Yes?
Anthony, we have, okay, the gentleman, first time ever they attempt.
I'm very happy for you to be here.
But in the class, there are 7 students from the culinary team. So, you know, in my first class, I was trying to think, okay, how is it that they're going to see the value of the digital marketing being a chef? Or being, you know, how is it that they can use the knowledge and for their own brand, for their own businesses, for their own restaurants, whatever they're going to do, to use it to their own advantage. So you, knowing you, being in the kitchen, by the way, he always used to hit the kitchen, never the restaurant front. He's in the heart of house. Whenever I used to invite him to review restaurants, and his bestie was always the chef. Never me, never anybody in the front of house, always the heart of house. So
I'm going to answer that after your question.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I just wanted to ask also, because for our young audience here, was there ever a time that you plateaued with your platform? You know, businesses pick up, or there's very less following on your platform, YouTube or whatever. What did you do, and how did you push on and persevere? Because I guess
Amazing question.
that's important for the young
Amazing question. I plateaued. Yes, everyone plateaus. Everyone is scared of becoming obsolete. Yes, I love the question. I'm going to answer that. In my character, it's never enough. So I'm never satisfied. I always want more. I always want to create more. I always want to buy something new. It's never enough for me. So I always ask my question every single morning. Am I good enough? Am I still relevant? Is my age relevant? Are my white hair relevant? Do the youth connect to me? Am I still doing the same? Do I use a new lexicon of words? Are we editing differently? And then you look at you and say, how can I be the best? You start creating new ideas, which I'm creating on a weekly basis. 2, always be different than others. 3, always get a better equipment for better videos so people would look and say, whoa, impressive content. Always use different things and understand where the world is going and what are the priorities of people without changing for them. So I'm not a fan of TikTok. I already have 500,000 followers on TikTok, but I don't like it. So people say, no, if you go on TikTok and you do this or that or follow this trend or this trend, you would become rich. But I don't like it. So I would prefer putting more effort into creating good content of Instagram for people to connect with me in a good way, put smiles on people's faces, get shares for people to come into a certain restaurant or a certain collaboration I have done. And I enjoy it, so do more of what makes you happy. This is my slogan in life. Would you want to go to live in a certain country? Because everybody's going there, but I don't like it. I like it here. So I would stay here and make it and find ways to be happy while making money or whatever. So this is the first part of the business. When I landed in Dubai, I always used to come to Dubai for the last 5 years, working here 10 days a month, traveling all around the world. At a certain point in time, I had 250 days in hotels per year. And I woke up one day and said, okay, wait, I want to settle down somewhere. And where would that be? I chose Dubai. I love it. I believe this is the best place to live in. But am I the first influencer? No. Can I compete? I don't know. How can I be different? Hard question. Do locals know me? I'm not sure. Can I speak English all the time? I don't know. Would my Arabic or Lebanese be relevant? And all of these questions. So you land in Dubai and say, okay, wait, what can I do now? How can I get more business now? So you take a step back and say, how can I be different? Create collaborations nobody did before. They're happening now. Create long-form documentaries for YouTube about companies. They're already on YouTube. Let people talk about this guy who's different than all the others that just sit on the table and eat for a minute. That's me. Go into kitchens because the heroes are back inside and not in front of the house. And connect with all of them and be friends with all of them and show you what are you eating and why you're eating it, and how you're eating it. From the hidden heroes nobody wants to see, hidden behind the walls. That's me. And all of these build up to doing well, enjoying what I do, and having lots of clients call me and say, we want to work with you, not with others, because you have something different to offer. So you wake up every day and say, how can I reinvent myself? So now, just for you to know, we're working on 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns. I've worked on a campaign with Puck, the cheese, Arla, a huge campaign, which won last year an award in Cannes and is winning hopefully this year. Another one connecting chefs from the villages of Lebanon with restaurants here. We're working now on a second campaign, which is the biggest marketing stunt of the last decade probably in Dubai, getting heroes from the Lebanese villages that never traveled, never had an Instagram, and now they're in Dubai serving more than 1,000 portions a day for the last 2 weeks. Second hero for the last 4 weeks and ongoing. So all of these special ideas would put you in a place where you're not obsolete anymore, while in parallel creating amazing content on YouTube, amazing content on Instagram, great stories. You look at what we do, I hope you have the time to go on YouTube. You'll see Netflix quality, 4K, super good colors, amazing edits, and this pushes us. Karim is my creative director. This pushes us to never be happy. So every day we watch something, we look at each other and say, we can do more. But it's great. You can do more.
If you talk about editor-editors, I think it's highly underestimated. Is how much time does he spend from he comes out with content and he makes, for example, an hour content, then you do a long thing, what is half an hour to 45 minutes, I assume. How long do you spend on editing before you can turn it out, approximately? number?
So I'll give you the exact number because the mic is here. The exact number is one of the things we've done also in Dubai. So I've never been on podcasts. We've created 7 series of podcasts. Just remembering what I did the last 6 months. We've done 2 cooking shows. So let's take an example as the cooking show. The cooking show is really next level quality cooking show, better than Netflix, I would say. But we put them on YouTube. You can watch them. 6 cameras. 2 persons working on it, 6 lights, 1 hour of filming, just 1 long hour of filming, as is, would take 3 days of work to have a 40-minute episode. And people watch it in like... Yes, I'm going to answer your question a bit. Yeah.
Just from a business model point of view, you clearly have many revenue streams coming in, right? So you've got your YouTube, you've got a bit of TikTok, you've got the Instagram, you seem to be doing some partnerships. 2 questions. Which do you enjoy the most out of those sort of different revenue models? And which are the most lucrative in terms of net profit?
Until now in the Middle East, in my opinion, social media is not lucrative enough. So I cannot live out of YouTube, I cannot live out of TikTok unless I live the TikTok new trends, which I would never do. But our main thing is companies paying for content. So when I landed in this country, I decided not to be an influencer, which people consider me to be, but I named it a content creator. So we create content for you. So you come in as a company and say, I'm a company that owns 10 restaurants. Fine, what can I do with 10 restaurants? Can I do a podcast show for you? Can I do a cooking show with your chefs? Can I do a tour of your restaurants and boost more business? Can I do a documentary about what you are? So we tailor-made something. 99% of the time I always sold what I imagined for companies. And then this would cost a certain budget that I will divert into all the things I can create since I own. So I won't have to go to someone to do a podcast for me. I can do it. I won't have to go to someone to do something else. And all of these I would throw on YouTube for a certain clientele, on Instagram for a certain clientele. At the end, it's very important, I always say, give the client what the client wants. So some clients want followers, some clients want more revenue, some clients want more customers, some clients want, each customer wants something. And the failure of lots of content creators is, did you ask your customer what does he want? And they clash in the middle of the way. Then when the creator says, I gave you the best video, but I didn't ask you for the best video. You didn't get me 1 client. So when I get the client, or one visitor or whatever. So when I get the client to understand what he wants, and then I put them all. What makes me happy is working with someone that understands what I do and appreciates what I do. Sometimes, unfortunately, content creation and consultancy, my main revenue is consultancy in the F&B business. So the consultancy, which is words and ideas and 15 years of experience or 20 years of experience put in 1 hour of meeting per week. And content creation is, as we said, hours and thousands of dollars of equipment put in 1 minute at the end. Clients do not appreciate because in our culture, we're more into buying things, not buying ideas. How much would you pay for a course? Less than buying for an iPhone. How much would you buy for an idea? Way less than buying for a car. Makes sense? So you need to be very strong on selling that. And answering the question straightforward is, what makes me happy? All of these with clients that understand what I do and appreciate that when I charge X for a certain period of time, you enjoy listening to what I say so we can build up to getting that result instead of waiting every day and say, where is the result? Where is the result? It's a 6 months job. So I'm not sure if you're... what I like the long format because it gives you enough time. I had great opportunities. So COVID helped and not. COVID helped jump me 200,000 followers on Instagram and YouTube and so on. Helped me take my time to film heroes. Unfortunately, some of them died afterward, and opened up to, there are people who were never known, who have never been on social media, who have never filmed, who nobody even cared about, even though they're very successful in my eyes and people's eyes. So how about I put them on camera and take their story? The last one that is not published, you're going to see in a bit, in a couple of weeks, days, weeks, is a guy who has been struggling with life with amazing stories since he's 16. I went to see him for a video of 40 minutes. I ended up filming 7 hours. It's going to be a series of its own. And guys like these are what make my YouTube special, and this is what I love to do. Unfortunately, I cannot live out of it. So I cannot continue doing YouTube, so I have to go to other revenue streams.
What do you consider long content? Because that's, and I would say, if you ask me, I would say long content would be 30 to 45 minutes, but guys think about it would be more than 5 minutes.
40, or if you go on my statistics on YouTube, 65%, 70% of my views are from the TV, not from a mobile device. So families gather on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, and watch my long content, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. It's watched less by this generation, but more by gatherings and families and mom and dad with kids, etc., especially around the world, with many stories. So the elder would watch to remember their past, the young will watch to learn Lebanese and connect with their roots. The middle age would look at restaurants to know where to go out. So it's very varied between the age of 10 to the age of 90. So answering the question of Amal, remember, as I said before, you are in a kitchen, you work so hard, work would never stop, but opportunities would not come again. So imagine you're a chef cooking from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. and then at 10 p.m. doing a plate, you look at the day and say, I don't remember what happened today. I forgot to take pictures of what I'm doing. I forgot to picture my happiness and my smiles and so on. You end up taking the plate, someone comes in, the chef or the manager, excellent job, and life goes on. Oops, I forgot to take a picture of the plate. What can I do? How can I remember what I've done? So remember in 2025 that you need to showcase who you are to the world. You definitely need to showcase what you do and how you are and what you do. It's very important to discover what you like and do more of what makes you happy. Some of you are here because mom and dad decided. Some of you here are here because I'm not sure if this was the right choice or another. You need to be at university and learn how to think. I've been a dentist, studied for 10 years. It changed my life. It made me another person. It made me the strong person I am today. I loved it, 10 years of work and so on. And it built up to how to be strong in society, how to think in society. If you're an engineer, you end up being a marketeer and then be a photographer. Perfect, Karim. And he's today a creative director with different backgrounds that make him think better today and so on. So discover who you are and always think that I want to be in the 1%. Sleep, wake up and say, others are better than me. How can I be with them? When I went into university, I remember that way much. So my friends used to tell me, dentist in Lebanon? We are 4,500 dentists back then. Come on. I said, yeah, of course. And I want to be one of the 100 that work instead of being one of the 4,400 that do not have any work to do or jobs. Did I manage? Probably. And this is what made me wake up every morning at 7, not at 10, to see 15 patients during the day and not stop for a 2-hour lunch break. And always thinking of, I want to be different, I want to be the best, I want to work more because there is no time for no time lost. Many of you have heard in this beautiful country, we leave during summer and escape for during July and August. While you're escaping, I'm going to be here working. So it depends how you see it. You can sit, work, or leave and keep work for others. And all of this on social media and internet while showcasing what you do for people to know, because if they don't know, they cannot hire you. If they don't know, they cannot know who you are. Did you follow me on Instagram? Yeah, I think you did. I do manage my own accounts. This is lastly, I do manage my own accounts. So I answer every single question, every single inquiry. I repost all my stories. I'm very open and mature about it. I repost everyone. I tag everyone. I don't have this I don't have this ego thing in this country where no, I don't tag you, I don't repost you, I might give you enough credit or support. I'm all in on this. So if you have any question, please message me on Instagram and you'll have an answer within the hour. If you want to post anything on Instagram, if you have a product you want me to taste, please feel free. I receive every day dozens of products at home and I give my honest opinion about them. What Amal said is, I have reached a certain maturity after 15 years that the same way, like it's a double-edged sword. So if I post something and yes, I do get lots of clients, and yes, I do get lots of followers for restaurants, and yes, restaurants do get a lot of business, this can happen on the negative side. So if I go to a restaurant and say, I don't like the food, this is bad food, the restaurant will close, the restaurant won't get any more clients, and this is very wrong. So I always believe that every restaurant has a different way of doing business, wrong or right. Every restaurant has families that they are supporting, and it's not my job to close a certain restaurant or stop businesses. So whenever I don't like it, I just don't talk about it or don't post it. But I would never say I don't like it if I don't have enough time to explain it, which usually comes in long format or in articles. So you cannot explain in 1 minute on Instagram why you didn't like it and how can it be better. So whenever I am invited or I'm paying or it's a job or not, whatever, if I don't like it, I just say I'm not posting. Done. I'm out. Impossible. Impossible. This is credibility, and this comes before everything else. You can lose money, you can lose your account, you can lose anything, but you cannot lose your credibility because you cannot gain it again. Impossible. So since I started, it was credibility after everything. If you go to a restaurant and I said I like it and it was bad, you would unfollow me and you would never follow me back, ever. So it's credibility first. Fortunately or unfortunately, what I do is my personal life and I love it. So I don't have a personal life. So I work on Sunday, I work on Saturday, I film everything with my family, everybody knows my wife, my kids. So it's something we live at home. It's not a job. I love it so much, I enjoy it. So I wake up very early every morning, normally because I want to do something new in my life. And I sleep at 10 after spending 3 hours on the computer because I do not want to sleep without having the edits done, etc. So it's a question I don't know how to answer because it's not a job for me and it's not an 8-5. I just live it, I travel it, I enjoy it. So I cannot go into an airplane, not film it. I cannot go to a restaurant, not film it. I have already 1.3 million points on Google Maps. Just count the thousands of pictures posted just because I enjoy it, not because I want points. I empty my phone every single night because it cannot have all the pictures and videos and the quality. I live with that. So, and some of the things, what is content? Content is anything you might create. So imagine, let's simplify it. I'm coming here for the day, okay? So going into the building, I can film something. Taking the elevator, I can film something. I can say that I'm coming to you. Going into the room, filming you, keeping the smile, filming this. At the end of 3-hour, 4-hour connection, I can do a 30-second. A 30-second can be a reel, a 30-second can be a short on YouTube, getting 50,000 views on each from simple thing. So creating content is not rocket science. Your daily life is daily content, is content. But is that content good? Is that content bad? Is that content positive for you or helping you in a way or another? Or just filming bad things on the road? You see sometimes bad things filmed, just searching for followers and for views. Okay, you get them once, and then what? So be consistent on creating content that is good for you and good for people and people enjoy, and it will build up. It is hard, yes, I understand. Every follower takes so much time. Every view takes so much time. The world has changed, yes. But be consistent, and chances would come unexpected. Would Instagram call you one day? Yeah. Would Facebook call you one day? Of course. Would YouTube call you one day? Yes. They didn't call me on day one, but now every single event, every single thing that happens, how about you join us and you decide to go or not, and you build up that momentum.
I have a question. Among the cuisines that you've tried, which one would you say is your favorite, and why is it such a? Why would it be the one that you would always choose? Besides Lebanese, of course.
I'm gonna start by explaining why Lebanese. It's very important. So Lebanese is my favorite cuisine, not because I'm born in Lebanon, because Lebanese is the most balanced cuisine in the world. And it has more than 200 plates on a sharing table, which we call festive food. And it has another 200 which we eat at home that you would never know about because they're not served at restaurants. So it's one of the few cuisines in the world that is part of the Mediterranean diet, is 60 to 70% naturally vegetarian and vegan, has more than 400 plates all across, is loaded with vegetables, is very balanced in flavors, does not have intense spiciness, does not do trans fat, and you can enjoy every single day with a balance of carbs and protein. So not because I live in Lebanon, because this is the cuisine, my personal opinion. Number two would be Italian. Because Italian is part of the Mediterranean diet, way less complicated than Lebanese, a lot based on carbs, but the carbs are not as bad as you think if they're cooked al dente. It's loaded with vegetables, of which tomatoes, lemon, and lots of other fresh things. And it's balanced without having the intense spiciness and intense things that sometimes people do not tolerate. I'm not saying that Asian cuisine is not good. I'm not saying that other cuisines of the world are not good. I'm not saying that French is not good or whatever. But if you take a step back and look at the cuisine, how intense, how spicy, how red, how yellow, how smelly, how all of these, positively, I'm not saying anything negative, and you take a step back on Mediterranean as a thing, and the Lebanese, Italian, etc., you would understand what I mean. What's my third? Mexican. Because Mexican, I always call Mexican cousins of the Lebanese in the cuisine. So it's the same in a way or another. Lots of inspirations because we are on the same line, but with different ingredients depending on the country. So we have shawarma, beef. Mexicans have shawarma, pork. We have rice, they have rice. They have beans, we have chickpeas. Avocado. So it's said differently. We have a sandwich, they have a taco, they have corn, we have flour. So it comes in a very similarities and same flavors while keeping all the rest simple. Onions, tomatoes. Did I answer the question? Too long answer, yeah, what I did.
Do you ever sort of wish that you had more of a food background in terms of like that you studied to be a chef or that you worked in kitchens, anything like that in your travels with meeting all these people?
You know, I never studied it. I never claimed to be chef, but I learned a lot, and I never eat something if I don't know what it is. Or I would never eat something if I'm not sure I'm going to learn about it. What Amal said is, yes, I always ask to be in the kitchens. I've been to every single kitchen you might imagine, from airplane kitchens, all the way to 5-star hotels, all the way down to doing a 4-week tour in Cairo I won't say the word, all the way to Malaysia, Iraq, USA, fast food. And it's not only about filming, it's what can I learn. So if I look at something, I know if it's good or not. Just by looking, I know if I'm gonna like it. I know if I'm gonna enjoy it. I know the ingredients by the smell. The batter, what's the batter, what it is, the ingredients, up, hidden, not. I never miss, but because I learned a lot. So 15 years of food, and I had another career of nightlife 15 years before, so I'm in the photography business since I was 16 years old. So the food part is about what can I understand. I've been to more than 100 factories, from the biggest cookie factory in Lebanon to the biggest supplier of bread from Australia to the world, to you name it. And it's always about not challenging what can I film more, it's what can I learn, how can I, and I go into that computer, and whenever I have a consultancy job or a tasting job, I know what I'm eating and why. So many would say food is subjective. No. Food for me is done right or done wrong. I like it or I don't. But it needs to start by done right or done wrong. So many taking that phone called influencers would say, I didn't like it. But who are you? What do you know about food? Say it's not in my liking, but it's done right. Say I recommend it. Say whatever, without blocking businesses or etc. So I've been places and I enjoy it. Would never want to be a chef. I don't want to compete with chefs. I'm not sure I want to own a restaurant. I don't want to compete with restaurant owners. So my mind is in the business, but while being very reasonable and intelligent in what I do, I cannot compete with people that I give services to. This is very important. So whatever you're going to study, you cannot be an influencer. And there are some influencer and chef. It doesn't work because chefs won't call you again. You cannot be influencer and the restaurant owner. It doesn't work. So do more of what makes you happy and know when to stop without competing with your own people or competition.
How big is your team?
Not much. We're all in all 7. What we managed to do great is doing amazing content, in my opinion, with a smaller team. I invite you to watch the Arla, the book Recipes for Change. Recipes for Change, we were 2 teams working on it. My team, we were 3. Their team, they were 27. Just watch and you'll know how amazing this was. Cooking, the Cooking Unscripted cooking show was done by a team of 3. There is no cooking show ever done by a team less than 19. And whenever I travel, because I wanted to be fast, and all the trips, 46 countries to date, usually 90% of the time I do it alone with that little equipment that you see on the table. And I know how to manage myself by filming myself, taking all the frames, getting all the frames introduced and re-editing at night, publishing 1 video a day, all the way, 1 video a day when we travel. And probably it's one of the things that build up to the momentum of what I do today. Hard work, no sleep. In 2025, there is no time for time will come. There is no time. Someone else will do.
I have a question. So basically, you went to multiple restaurants and consulted them. My question is, what is the most restaurant that, like, you got shocked from their service or something they had?
Positive or negative?
Positive.
One of the experiences I would never forget in my life is a restaurant in Copenhagen called Noma. So I wanted to visit Noma. I couldn't. A friend of mine was working at Noma, so I told him, you get me a table, I book a ticket. I was coming from Lebanon. So I got a table, booked the ticket, went all the way just for the restaurant. 24-course meal, 3 hours and a half later, I would do it again and again and again and again. It was the best wow ever.
What's the bill, if I ask?
Sorry?
What was the bill? Because
The bill was 650 euros per person and another 500 for the wine.
for the 1,000 euros per person.
And we were 4. Plus air ticket, plus hotel. These are once in a lifetime experiences. I would recommend one day, I believe they're going to get at least 2-star Michelin and probably 3 stars, in my opinion. A restaurant in Dubai opened for the last month or 2 called FZN. The bill is 2,000 dirham per person, but it is worth it at least once in a lifetime. It is phenomenal. It's a 3-story experience. You go from the entrance, go to the saloon, and go down back to the dining, and then go back to the living space. Whoa, in the Atlantis. So these are the 2 I remember now. First on hand, first in mind.
So basically, when it comes to making videos,
I love your question. You cannot get it all. So something else I've done since we started, I decided to own my content. So everything you see, I own. I never worked with the TV. Even the TVs I give in Lebanon, in Iraq, etc., I still own the content. And it was a personal decision. I could have been a TV employee, do money, and not own anything. So I wanted to create something. Today we have 300 terabytes of content. Our hard disk, which is now a server at home, is loaded with content since 2012, with all the evolution of the filming from 720 all the way to 4K, and as of next year we're filming in 8K. And I decided to own everything. Owning everything, I couldn't do money out of it. Long format, Karim and the team, when I was traveling last summer, I give them a challenge. You have 100 days. How many days? 90 days to go film stories all around heroes of Lebanon. So 90 days of content, which cost around $30,000, which I paid from my pocket. And this was an investment for me in Lebanon, which was not sold to anyone else. So again, yes, answering your question, money, quality, they do not go all in all. And it needed 90 days lost. I could have done something else quicker, or them traveling with me or whatever. So it's a very tricky thing where, yes, I still want to post content, I still want to create, I still want to leave a legacy for my kids. This is the only thing I can leave them, while getting more consultancy jobs on the side and getting paid for them. So during the day, half of it is consultancy, half of it is filming. Sometimes tomorrow is filming alone. I have another job, consultancy. We meet on the third day. We're traveling 7 days to Canada next week, while all the jobs are done in Dubai, building up on, yes, we are traveling and connecting with the Lebanese community over there. Back for a job on the 30th for 1 month. June is all in, locked for 3 heroes coming from Lebanon. I manage content during the day. He finishes editing of big jobs during the night. And it's ongoing. We enjoy it. It's not an act. We really enjoy it. And whenever we wake up in the morning and we have nothing to do, we look at each other and say, how about we film Dubai Mall before it opens at 10? We go take the car, we go to Dubai Mall, we film Dubai Mall. And if you go online and see Dubai Mall, and you see malls of the Emirates, and you see whatever, content, nonsense, it's when we feel that there is nothing to do and we go filming. Now we had an idea of, how about we film drive-through in Dubai? So we don't have time, but the minute you're gonna wake up and say, today is a holiday, let's go film this one. And you're gonna watch it and remember that I talked to you about.
Your energy is contagious. Okay, is it true you had chocolate hummus?
No, this was this was April's Fool stunt. We did a very nice April's Fool stunt, and it went viral. Everybody loved it. So we did Lebanese deodorant and falafel shampoo, and you can see it online as well. So I hope you learned something new today. I hope you like it. Again, anything you need, please send me a message. I'll answer you. So probably I can see you another time. If sometimes we can do a restaurant, food review, getting things around here, I'm open to anything. And be different. This is very important. Be different and be unique. There's a saying that says, stop looking at people around, be yourself because everybody else is taken. And this is true, 100% true. The minute you start being someone else, you just fail. Be you, whoever. Be you, the bad, the good, the beautiful, the ugly, be you. And there is someone somewhere who's going to see you and change your life. Simple, straightforward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.